We tend to believe, or we tend to say, that feedback must be objective and people can rate each other reliably. A friend of mine told me that she received the feedback from her manager, and he said that she must be more flexible. I just asked her what she thought her manager meant. And she said that I'm a responsible person and I'm consistent to follow company policies. And he asked me to follow the rules less strictly. How objective this feedback was. Don't you think it's flexible? Or maybe 5? And was the feedback about my friend's behavior? Or it was more about the preference of the manager? We should be very careful when we evaluate somebody because we use our values and our filters, and our feedback say more about us than about the other person. Companies recognized that it is easier for people to rate each other if they are given a framework. This is called competency model. The first issue is that what guarantees that the competences are selected correctly? Why something is in and why something is out? When you buy a survey system, you're told that the competences were chosen based on analyzing results of other companies. For me, they are more like Columbo's wife. She was mentioned in every part of the popular TV series, but actually nobody saw her. Have you seen those studies they refer to? Secondly, what guarantees that if competences showed some correlation with results somewhere else, will result the same in your organization? How true it is that if the reference groups possess some common competences, then the best ones are the ones who have them all. And thirdly, let's see the data. Let's take the competency of decision making. They measure it in a way that, or decision making. They measure it in a way that, let's say, he quickly makes decision. If I rate you good on this, all we know is that I think you make decisions quicker than I would. This is simply guessing. The raters are unreliable and they put bad data in the system. You may say, or you may think, that's why we have more raters. Their average can compensate this anomaly. They won't. Trust me, I'm an engineer. We will have more bad data because each rater's input is not reliable, as a bad input. Average does not turn bad data to good data. A grandson asked his grandfather that, what's average? And he says that you're 10 years old and I'm 70. Together it's 80 and the average is 40. And 40 is the most beautiful age for man. However, neither of us are able to attract a beautiful woman. Yeah, so we should be really, and feedback is mainly about what we are, but how we learn self-reflection then. I always tell that don't let anybody fool you. You're able to do that on your own, all by yourself. So feedback must not be really about, it's not objective and it should not be really about our judgment, but it is more about our performance or development, I'm sorry. Abraham Wald looked at those planes that returned from the battles as feedback on the war, just like we do with feedback and performance reviews at workplaces. He investigated closer how the information and data was collected and structured, and then he came up with solutions that work better. I do believe that the culture of feedback needs another look, because our employees are crashing and burning just like those planes, just like those early fighter planes. If we want, but yeah, some of us or most of us are like the officers, and only some of us have the courage to be like Abraham Wold. But we are experts, HR professionals, engineers, and our job is to strengthen the system to improve employee engagement. From a distance, everybody seems to be right, but from closer, some are wrong.